Again, Trinity students, get your raffle tickets from the Student Programming Board. Great prizes to be announced at halftime.
The 2020 season brought with it many unexpected twists and turns and ended with a SCAC trophy in Shreveport for the first time ever. Trinity, who held the title for 7 straight years before 2019, have now gone 2 years without the trophy in their possession for the first time since 1995. It's the Gents who entered today's game with championship rings on their fingers and a title to defend against the number 2 team in the country playing on home soil. Can the Gents open up conference play by recapturing the lightning in a bottle that propelled them to the title, or will Trinity restore order in the SCAC on their home field and open up their quest to reclaim the crown with a win today? We're about to find out on the Tiger Network. My name is Ryan Figert, and I'm excited to describe the action for you this evening as both teams open up conference play here in 2021. The captains for the two sides meeting with the officials at the moment. Jacob Galan for Trinity, Jaron Petraeus and Sammy Borchali for the Gents. And for the Gents, a new head coach making his SCAC coaching debut. It's Kevin White. His 11 is as follows. Sammy Borchali, the senior goalkeeper, in between the sticks. In the back line, we've got Rene Escobar, Javi Noyola, Ramirez, Marco Basteris, and Adam Beeler. First-year midfielder Brendan Amatos played every game. He continues in the starting 11 today, alongside Jaron Petraeus, Colton Howard, David Barbera, Diego Hernandez, and Tom Bicuey. For Coach McGinley, a few changes as Austin Willman keeps his place in between the sticks, still playing in place of the number 1, Juan Carlos Vidalis. John Connor Rule is out with injury as well. We fear for the season, and because of that, Brady Johnson comes back into the back line with Peter Blanc, Jacob Galan, and Jesus Velos. Midfield 3, Tom Whitwell, Michael Pham, and Joe Curry. And no Michael Meese in the starting 11 today. It's Shin Adji from the left, Michael Somerville through the middle, and Fraser Burns off the right. Somerville filling in today for Meese, who's picked up an injury after scoring 8 goals, assisting 3 in just 7 games so far in his Trinity career. But it's Somerville who's been effective off the bench, getting his second start of the season. 4 goals already for the junior striker. He's got big boots to fill, but so far this season he's been up to the task. Centenary breakout. They're huddled down to my left. They're wearing gray tops, gray shorts, and maroon socks, moving from left to right here in the first half. Trinity wearing white with maroon trim, the same combination that we saw earlier today for the Trinity women, who defeated the ladies 8-0 to kick off the weekend here at Paul McGinley Field. Coach McGinley still going through his final words in the huddle. You'd expect bulletin board material was not hard to come by with Centenary taking the title that Trinity every year expect to come home to San Antonio. And he's going through the final motivating words here. Centenary now huddle up themselves out on the field. New head coach for the Gents as Coach Simzak moves on after 4 seasons, going out on the highest of highs, winning a conference title on his home field. He's now an assistant at William & Mary, where, of course, Trinity striker Michael Meese used to ply his trade. The new guy in town, Kevin White, in his first season as a head coach. He's the former assistant at UTD for 8 seasons. He's a familiar face in Texas Division III soccer. And he had the tough task of inheriting a team that made an improbable run to what many thought was an impossible title. In a year in which the SCAC have restricted the postseason tournament just to 4 teams. So it'll be even more difficult to get into that tournament. Last year, the Gents entered in as the 6th seed and became the first team to even play in the final, much less win the game from the bottom spot in the pecking order of the tournament. We are all set to get underway here in San Antonio with SCAC play Trinity didn't drop a game through non-conference action, and they'll look to get off on the front foot here against Centenary. We are underway. Joe Curry on the ball. Of course, did not play in the abbreviated 2020 season with injury. A lot of new faces playing against Centenary for the first time. The last time the two teams faced off was in 2019. 9 players that are available for selection today played in that game. As Trinity won 2-0 on a couple of goals from their former captain, Quentin Vanderlee. 1 from the penalty spot, 1 from the run of play. It's Michael Pham, who's inherited the captain's armband and the number 10 shirt from the Dutch midfielder, who now plays at Southern Methodist University, the Division I level. He started this attack, and he's back on the ball here now. He's put under pressure and forced back to Blanc. Blanc looks for the switch to Burns, who's found a pocket of space. Wide on the right. Burns cuts inside, rolls the ball to the top of the box for Curry. And Borchali quick off his line. Is there ahead of Michael Somerville. First touch for the senior goalkeeper out of Lafayette, Louisiana. Booming punt from Borchali onto the foot of Peter Blanc. Handball goes against Colton Howard, the number 9. Junior out of Keller, Texas. Johnson into the feet of Burns. Tries to flick it towards Somerville. Cleared away. Diego Hernandez, the senior, anchoring the back line for the Gents. Graduated 3 seniors from the championship team. Also lost Andres Bautista, who transferred away. As Burns brings it in, fires it across, and it falls for Joe Curry. Save from Borchali. Joe Curry still on it. Michael Pham now at the edge of the 18. He's dispossessed. A warning shot for Trinity, denied by Borchali. As Joe Curry still looking for his first collegiate goal. He picked up an assist last time out for the Tigers. Burns receives it. Defender on his back. He goes all the way back to Willman. And Golan can't keep that one in play. It's out for a Centenary throw just inside the Tigers' half. Shin Aji back in the lineup today. He'll be playing off the left wing. Connor Jones also available for selection for the first time this season. Expect to see him later on. He's got a goal against Centenary in his career stats, and he's got something to prove as he's missed the entirety of the season so far. Rene Escobar doesn't get much behind that clearance. It falls at the feet of Burns. Curry dispossessed. Trinity swarm around the ball. Golan gets it now to Burns. Escobar gets much more behind that clearance, sent into the channel. Johnson gets a foot on it. Coach McGinley encouraging his young center midfielder, Tom Whitwell, to settle the ball down in midfield, try and possess the field for the most part in good shape, despite concerns about the weather that moved this game up. As of now, it looks like clear skies here in San Antonio as the forecast has continued to move back as the day has gone on, as it tends to do once you make an adjustment like that. Whitwell caught on the ball by Petraeus. Chance to break here for Centenary. Howard lays it at the feet of Barbera, all the way back to Besteris. And now Escobar playing as the center back alongside Diego Hernandez. Adji can't keep it in place. Tom Becuy, first year out of Hazebrook in France. He's one of 2 French players on the Centenary roster for the first time this year. Leo Waller, we expect to see later on today, is the other. Hails from Lille. Burns has found space for Somerville on the right wing. Galan goes inside. Somerville finds space for the shot, takes it on his left foot. Bounces wide of goal. Another early effort for the Trinity striker. Whitwell gets ahead to it in midfield. Amato challenging. It's all the way through to Austin Willman, as Colton Howard was shielded off it by Johnston. Blanc just over the head of Adji. Visteris looks up, finds the ball for Amato. Somerville puts the defender under pressure. He goes back to Borchali. He's got time on the ball. Big Huey helps it on towards Howard. Trinity play out. Space for Whitwell. He takes a heavy first touch. Jaron Petraeus is onto it. He lifts it in behind for Howard. Blanc nods it comfortably back to Austin Willman. You see the shadows engulfing Paul McGinley Field now. Only person struggling with the sun is the Trinity goalkeeper, Austin Willman. And even that will soon dissipate as the lights are on. Galan tries to go around the outside. Takes a heavy touch. It's out for a goal kick. Opening 7 minutes, a couple of shots for the Tigers. One required a big save from Borchali. The other went wide of goal from Somerville. Trinity ranks number 2 in the national rankings. Their highest mark of the season so far. They've moved up from being unranked to start the season in the preseason poll. Steadily climbing as they've won game after game. 7-0 coming into this. Against some highly rated regional opponents like Willamette, Occidental, Hardin-Simmons, UTD, UMHB. Finishing up the non-conference schedule with a familiar conference opponent last weekend in Colorado College, a 6-2 victory. A lot to build off of, even without their starting goalkeeper and Juan Carlos Fidelis and starting striker and Michael Meese in the lineup today. Not to mention J.C. Rule, who's been probably the standout of the defensive unit this season, including scoring 2 goals in the first half last Friday. Plans in the works to maybe get JC on the mic for the other 4 SCAC home games. Stay tuned for that. Somerville called for a foul on the challenge against Visteris. Visteris quickly up to his feet. Free kick coming for the Gents. Rene Escobar lines it up. Some of the big bodies up from the back. David Barbera will be a target. All right, 6 foot. Tallest player in the starting 11 today for Coach White. Good ball in from Escobar. Stabbed away by Whitwell and Galan. Pham and Velos both fouled as the Gents retreat. Whitwell wide now to Galan. Scott Fraser Burns further to his right. He's continued the run into attack, and Eventually, Centenary able to deal with it. Johnston wants a foray into the attack. Got it into the feet of Burns. He's going to have to do the hard work here to track back. He's wrong side of Jaron Petraeus, who's lifted it in behind. Chance for BQE, but the flag goes up. Tigers eager to get the ball back rolling. So their mistake didn't count against them that time. Or Charlie sends it into touch at the Isom Memorial, where Jacob Gallant picks it up. Into the feet of Somerville, back to Gallant. Wide for Burns, Aggie. Joined now by Curry in the penalty area. Petraeus heads clear. Whitwell leaves that pass short of Velos. He's too strong in the challenge there with McEwen. He's got it back now to Tom Whitwell. Wide for Burns. Laid off for Michael Pham. Somerville makes the run. It's fired in towards his feet. Defended well by Escobar. Aggie turns, finds Velos. Petraeus goes to ground, but it stayed in play for Joe Curry. Cannon off the San Antonio native, wearing the number 8 for the Tigers, out for a gents throw. Whitwell into midfield. Pham's picked it up. Burns, great ball into the path of Curry. Thought about a shot, ran into 2 defenders before he could unleash. Blanc beats Colton Howard to the ball there. Aggie comes onto his right foot, plays it across for Burns. Gallant skips past Noela Ramirez. Hooks it back to Fraser Burns. Will go on the dribble here, gets to the end line, lifts one across. Ball at the back post for Velos. It sets up for Somerville. Can't turn it goalwards, but Trinity have the gents hemmed in here. Johnson and Blanc, both very capable distributors from the center back position. It's Johnson who gets the ball in the midfield here for Burns. Return it to the former All-American out of Northampton, England. Tom Whitwell, the English midfielder himself, out of Warwick. Blanc into the feet of Somerville. Whitwell finds the ball wide for Velos, who takes a curling shot himself. Wide of goal. Got to talk to Centenary first-year head coach Kevin White during the week. I asked him, how would you describe your team's culture? Told me we are competitive, gritty, and we have a no-quit attitude, and they're going to require that. They've been on the back foot, as expected here through the opening 15 minutes. So far, though, resolute, sticking to their task defensively, and they've got one of the conference best goalkeepers to backstop the defensive line in Sammy Borchalli. He's already been called upon once and came up with the save to prevent Trinity from getting on the board early through Joe Curry. McEwen gets a foot on that ball from Blanc. Colton Howard struggling to hold it up with Blanc, Johnston, and Whitwell all around him. Aggie content to see this one bounce out of play. Aggie wants to lift it in for Curry. It's onto the head of Diego Hernandez, the senior out of Carrollton, Texas. He was honorable mention, all-conference last year. As Andres Bautista was named to the first team, Jaron Petraeus to the second. Curry steps inside his man, creates the space for himself, and then looks to find a teammate, as he so often does. All entry lanes into Somerville denied that time. And Galan's got time on the ball for Trinity. Drop of the shoulder, goes inside his man. Somerville around the corner for Pham. Tried to get it back to Jacob Galan. Here is Galan from outside the 18. He'll have a shot, plenty of power in it. It's blocked. And Centenary will look to find a counterattack here. 4 in the attack if they go quickly. Ball returned to Jaron Petraeus in midfield. Amato. On to Bikui. Whitwell cuts out the move for the Gents. Gets it back to Galan. Johnson spreads it wide for Agee. Still looking to get his footing. Back in the lineup. Commits another foul here. As Basteris draws the contact. Here's Amato. Drives at the Trinity back line. Looks to slip it in behind for Howard. Johnson at full stretch. Makes the tackle. Centenary seemed to have weathered the early storm. Speaking of, we thought a late storm tonight may impede the game with potential lightning in the area, so that's why today's game pushed up to 6:30. As Burns orchestrating from midfield here. He's got it to Somerville, dropped off for Whitwell. Wanted to go wide for Agee, left it short of the Tigers winger. Burns, some really sharp touches in midfield. Here he is again. Steps past his man. Looks for Curry. Those two always looking for a teammate, rarely looking to score themselves. Burns does have 2 goals to his name, as well as an assist so far this season. I mentioned Curry has the 1 assist starting every game so far. Well, his impact doesn't always show up on the stat sheet. Amato tries to lift it in behind for Howard. And Petraeus is quicker than Whitwell to the ball that time. He heard the contact, as the first-year midfielder for Trinity committed the foul, and set-piece opportunity 24-25 yards from goal for the Gents. This will be a real chance to get the goal that they so desperately desire. Jaron Petraeus be the likely candidate. Indeed, looks like the only candidate to take. He scored the winning penalty to deliver the SCAC title to the Gents in the spring. A little bit higher degree of difficulty, although the pressure a little bit lower as well for the junior midfielder. Noel Ramirez steps away. Petraeus has a hit, bounces in front of Willman. It's comfortable in the end for the Tigers goalkeeper. He quickly rolls it out to Galan. Hernandez there ahead of Somerville, but he runs into Galan. Good touch from Amato, who's looked lively in the early goings. Whitwell comes away with the ball on that occasion. Laid off for Pham, who's got lots of time in the center circle. Johnson all the way back to Blanc. Trinity looked to build from possession. 20 minutes gone now in the SCAC opener. Johnson and the ball into midfield for Curry. Settles it with his second touch. Can't get past Amato. Velos comes inside. Runs a great crossfield ball out to his opposite fullback, Galan. Ball breaks for Curry. Galan wants to return it to him. Leaves it short, and Noela Ramirez is able to clear. Pham receives it from the throw-in. Had a lot of space, immediately closed down. And Whitwell on a charge from midfield. Pass intercepted by Bacui. See a particular area of the field starting to get really torn up. Everywhere else looking decent despite the overnight rain. That particular area would be difficult for players to keep their footing as the night wears on, having already played the women's game earlier this afternoon. Trinity taking that one 8-0. Amato loses footing there, and the cross then cannons off his face. I think he's going to be quickly checked for a potential head injury by the referee. First-year midfielder's been all over the field so far in this game. Hails from Denham Springs, Louisiana. Takes the place of Greg Petraeus in the Centenary lineup, having graduated after last season. No more brotherly combo between Jaron and Greg for the Gents this year. Burns going to line up the free kick here for Trinity. He's asked to move the ball a couple yards further from goal. 4 in the area in white shirts. Blanc and Curry camped out on the edge. Galan, the only one back for the Tigers, as everyone is on hand defensively for the visiting Gents. Borchali sets the one-man wall. Burns towards the back post. And Brady Johnston, he's denied. And Pham, the loose touch, will allow Centenary to get up out of their own 18-yard box. Noel Ramirez not up to what he'd like standards-wise with the throw-in. It goes straight back out, and Trinity now looking to make changes across the front three. It's Philip Dueñas in for Somerville, Hunter Kane in for Aggie, and Connor Jones will soon follow them into the game. Jones, in fact, will come in now, making his season debut. The seniors making his 35th appearance for the Tigers. He's got 4 goals and 1 assist. One of those, a spectacular golazo against Centenary in his freshman season. That game taking place at UIW actually because of inundating rain. Still a highlight that Connor likes to pull out from time to time. Good to see him back out on the field here in 2021. He'll take the place of Fraser Burns on the right wing. Dueñas through the middle and Hunter Kane on the left. That's the attack right now for Trinity. Dueñas lays it at the feet of Whitwell. Dueñas gets the early shot away. And the Gents smuggle it out for a Tiger throw. And for Dueñas, who cuts back. And Galan gives up the goal kick. First change coming as Mikey Smith into the game to lead the line. He replaces Colton Howard. Biggest moment of Mikey Smith's collegiate career, assisting the winner against Colorado College that propelled the Gents into the semifinal. The semis and final won on penalty kicks after 0-0 draws over the course of regulation and overtime. Really gave Borchali the platform to be the hero, and he was the defensive player of the tournament. Jones, drop of the shoulder, looks to go beyond his defender. He cuts back for Galan. Joinez takes it on the chest. Free kick coming for Trinity. Too much contact for the referee's liking. Johnston and Blanc come up from the back. It'll be Joe Curry, it looks like, to serve it in. Got a free kick from just about this exact spot. Go down as a JC Rule goal. Joe Curry assist in the first half a week ago. No JC Rule to aim at here, but he sent it in. It's come to the head of Johnston. Borchale was up to claim. Second look at goal for Johnston already today. Borchale's punt over the head of Kane. Veloso check back. And Willman just about able to keep it in play. Send it back down the field, looking for Joinez. Escobar up to win it. Petraeus tracks it down in midfield. He's got his head up. He wants to go in behind Johnston. Avenue that's regularly closed as it was there. Pham waits this pass in behind for Galan. He'll get on the end of it, dinks it towards the back post, deflected and out for a corner. Great weight on the pass there for Michael Pham. It was Jones actually got to the end line and won the corner. Trinity go quickly. Curry whips it in, turned goalward by Johnston. And Jones was looking to get a flick on it, but he would have been offside as the flag went up. Third look at goal, though, for Johnston. He's looking to find the goal-scoring form that landed him on the All-American list back in 2019. He's won that header from the punt. Hunter Kane onto the loose ball. Sprays it wide for Joinez. Laid back to Hunter Kane in space in the penalty area. Rene Escobar got back just in time. Five changes. Ready to come in and try and change the game for Trinity. Still just the one adjustment made by Coach White in his 11. Blanc steps into midfield, pokes it towards Curry. It's too far in front of the sophomore midfielder, and Basteris starts the counterattack for the Gents. Slipped it in behind here for Brendan Amato, but it's claimed off his foot by Austin Willman. Whitwell plays that straight into touch. He's one that's set to be replaced. It looks like a straight swap 3 for 3, and Kyle Davis also ready. See if they go in at the outside back positions. Trinity's best opportunities came really in the opening minutes of the game. As Joinez called for a foul, just couldn't get stopped as he ran into Diego Hernandez. Bakiri forced wide by Veloso. Concedes the throw, and Trinity's substitutions will wait. See them on the right of your screen. Johnston beaten to it by Smith. Jones leaves that one short of Pham. Chance for Petraeus from distance. It bounces in front of Willman. He controls it. Got his body behind the ball. See the sun setting here in San Antonio. It's a scenic evening to open SCAC play. So far, Centenary making life difficult for the Gents as BQE drives inside. And Blanc goes to ground to win it back. It's a midfield partnership of Petraeus and Amato who've really been doing the hard work for the Gents. Marking runners and also getting into the attack when they can. Here is Petraeus. Lifting into the channel, looking for BQE. Mikey Smith is onto it. He's standing at just 5'2", but he's quick, deceptive. As there's a clash of heads here. Whitwell involved for Trinity. Immediately back up to his feet. He's going to get a chance to rest here either way as he's set to be replaced. David Barbera was the Centenary player involved in the collision. Junior from Gonzales, Louisiana. He stayed down here in conversation with the athletic trainer. Trinity allowed to make the one change for Tom Whitwell as Jake Simon takes his place in midfield. Both coaches using this opportunity to some tactical instruction for their players. So we're 30 minutes into this opening SCAC matchup of 2021, which pits the regular season champions Trinity up against the conference tournament champions Centenary. Oriastegi into the game for David Barbera, who's going to be continuously evaluated here for a head injury. Trinity launch it back to Borchali in the Centenary goal, and we're back underway with 14.5 to play. So far, the Tigers stifled an attack without Michael Meese. Got plenty of capable players out there right now to try and find the breakthrough goal. Dueñas found his breakthrough goal against Colorado College, getting off the mark in his senior season. Kane poked that one away from Amato. Joe Curry was first to the loose ball for Trinity. Johnston with a heavy first touch. Slides in. Mikey Smith was looking to get onto it. Johnston, it's a bobbling ball back to the goalkeeper. Willman sent it down the field. It's controlled by Amato. Smith gets ahead to it, and Johnston commits the foul. Another free kick coming for the Gents. The other four Trinity changes still waiting. It's been 3 or 4 minutes now since they checked in. Petraeus took the last free kick. Looks like Amato, who's lining this one up. Petraeus has stepped away. Amato and Noel Ramirez, right foot and left foot respectively. And the shot sails harmlessly over the bar for Brendan Amato.
In for the Tigers, number 6, Jack Eubanks. Number 13, Kyle Davis.
And now Kyle Davis, Jack Eubank, Jared Olson, and Jack Downs finally able to enter the game. And it will be Kyle Davis at right back
Jared Olson.
with Jack Eubank at left back. So besides Willman and the two center backs, everybody else now substituted by Coach McGinley. This Tigers still looking for the opening goal in conference play this season. Blanc brings it across the halfway line with his head up. He's got the ball into the feet of Jack Downs. His first touch goes back to Blanc. Give and go with Simon. Kane puts it around the corner for Eubank. This is great build-up play from Trinity here. Dueñez lays it across now for Hunter Kane. Shot may have lacked purchase. It's a beautiful build-up play for the Tigers. A few more of those, and you have to imagine they'll find the breakthrough goal. Or Charlie's punt, controlled now by Johnston. Wanted to go direct, but Amato cut it out. Tried to lift it over the top for Smith, but Blanc was alert to the danger. Now Connor Jones presents the danger to the Centenary back line, going the other way. Easily past one, lays it to the top of the box for Kane. Across for Jack Downs. He checks back. Didn't like the look of either run ahead of him. And Simon couldn't get it to Jack Downs. Throwing coming for Centenary. They're preparing two more changes. That looks like they'll wait to go through with those. Johnston commanding header out of bounds. Another throw coming for the Gents. Stegi gets it clear. Bueller, though, runs into Downs. Jack Downs scored Trinity's only goal at the SCAC tournament at Centenary last season. Goal that ended up as a consolation effort as the Tigers fell to St. Thomas, who they'll face on Sunday in the semifinals. Coach McGinley and the team traveling to Houston to take on the Celts, who have enjoyed a strong start to their season as well. It's going to be competitive to get into the top four of the SCAC and qualify for the championship tournament this year, and that's why every game counts more than perhaps ever before. In the past, it's been a 6-team tournament with first-round byes for 1 and 2, and the year after the number 6 team goes on to win it. Conference tournament's now changed format, and it's just 4. You wonder who's voting on these types of things. Downs lays it wide for Jones, who's got space. He'll drive at his defender, step over, get to the end line. Fires it across. No touch off a Gents player. Goal kick coming. So far, so good for Borchali. He was called into action in the opening moments of the game for a Joe Curry shot from close range. The senior goalkeeper missed a couple of games this year after he had a mouth injury. He got kicked in the face against Bellhaven. They missed a couple games, but he returned against TLU last time out. Dueñez now lays it to Hunter Kane. Had Olsen and Dueñez ahead of him, opted to shoot. That'll be another save for Borchali, the 2019 honorable mention SCAC goalkeeper. Davis on the ball here. Go all the way back to Willman, who's in today in place of 2020's second team goalkeeper, on Carlos Fidalis. Jake Simon quickly onto the loose ball ahead of Mikey Smith after Blanc's pass in the midfield was denied. Downs off to Simon. Finds himself a little bit deeper there. Blanc had gone beyond him. Ball down the line now with Kyle Davis. He's got Jones ahead of him. 2 in the penalty area. Kyle Davis on a scamper down the right wing. Pokes it back towards Davis. Cleared away by the Gents, only as far as Johnston. He'll send a crossfield ball in towards Phil Dueñez. Inches away from a perfect service. Eubanks kept it alive now with Jack Downs inside the penalty area. He wriggles free and fires the shot. Borchalli claims it. Trinity closing in on the game's opening goal, but so far it's the number 1 standing tall in the Centenary goal. Rene Escobar sends that into the Trinity bench. Eubank, plenty of distance on that throw. It came off the chest of Dueñez. Besteris sent it clear. Eubank with a good entry ball into midfield. Had to be inch perfect for Downs, who picked it up. Laid it back to the feet of Brady Johnston. Forward for Jones. Davis goes beyond him. Those two looking to rekindle the partnership they formed over the course of 2018 off the bench. Davis restored to the right back position where he played most of his Trinity career so far before moving into midfield ahead of this season. Looks like that experiment may be over. It's Blanc with a great ball off his off foot. Forward for Hunter Kane. Olsen looking for Dueñez, can't hold it up. So we approach 5 minutes to play here at Paul McGinley Field. Jaron Petraeus on the ball. He lays it back for Rene Escobar, the sophomore out of Cypress, Texas. Looks for the direct service in behind, and it nearly broke for the Gents. Huge opportunity. Kyle Davis on the ball for the Tigers. Down the line for Jones. Skips past 2 defenders. Now holds Amato on his hip as he rolls it infield for Dueñez. Great work from Jones to open up the space for Dueñez, whose shot, again, is comfortable for the goalkeeper. Simon up to win in midfield from the punt. Besteris in the midfield for Philemon Gazet. First year out of Houston, Texas. So nearly had a chance to open the scoring moments ago. Just couldn't corral the loose ball. Noela Ramirez here. Prepares the throw-in. Too close to Johnson, who heads clear. Another throw coming for the Gents. Taken quickly into Noela Ramirez. Davis caught in possession. Bailed out, though, as the last touch comes off the Gents. You got to imagine, as it stands, it's going to be a fiery team talk for Coach McGinley. Wilman, not a ton to do in terms of making saves. Trinity have looked short of their best in the attack. Of course, you'd expect some drop-off with 8 goals and 3 assists of Michael Meese not in the lineup today. But I think the Trinity players and the coaching staff both know They can offer more than what they have so far. Port Charlie only had to be spectacular once, really. The rest have been fairly routine. Downs ahead for Kane. Wants to lift one in behind for Dueñez. Port Charlie trucks down the loose ball. See him adjusting the mouthpiece constantly. Forced to wear after that facial injury I mentioned a few games ago. This punt clears the halfway line by 10 or so yards. It's well won back by Simon, who lunges in to regain possession. Escobar heads it away, intended for Dueñez. Olsen turns away from pressure. It's back now with Blanc. Minute and a half remaining in the first half. Jones keeps possession, gets it back to Davis. Now pokes it to the top of the box where Dueñez was waiting. He's beaten to it. He's back on the ball here. It's laid at the feet of Jack Downs. Eubank goes on the overlap. Swings in a deflected cross. It's headed to the back post. And Port Charlie could only watch as it went just wide off the head of Phil Dueñez. Closest opportunity for Trinity comes as the 1 minute announcement comes over the PA. Ten shots, 7 on target for Trinity. 3 shots, 2 on target for the Gents. 7 saves for Sammy Borchelli. The only corner kick of the game was for Trinity. As it stands, scoreless. Jaron Petraeus misplaying the ball in midfield. Will Trinity search for one last opportunity with the seconds ticking away here in the first half? Simon is onto it. He's poked it to his left for Jack Downs. Under 10 seconds to go. It's got to go forward. Kyle Davis finds the feet of Dueñez, who's dispossessed on the buzzer. And we head into the break. Still scoreless as the Skaks, defending regular season champions, held here at home so far by the postseason champions of 2020. Should be a good, intriguing 15 minutes of halftime in terms of listening in to Coach McGinley and Coach Kevin White. It'll be an even better 45 minutes when we return. You're watching the SCAC opener on the Tiger Network. We enter the second half of play. Still scoreless here at Paul McGinley Field between the Trinity Tigers and the Centenary Gents, with both teams kicking off their 2021 SCAC campaigns now under the lights here in San Antonio. In the first half, Trinity fired off 10 shots, and Borchelli forced to come up with 7 saves, on 7 of those on target for the Gents. 3 shots, 2 saves for Austin Willman, both on shots from Jaron Petraeus. Looks like it'll be a change in attack, maybe even a change in shape for Coach McGinley and Trinity. Somerville's left on the bench here to start. Looks like goes into the game for the first time on the right. And we are underway here in the second half. Both teams still searching for the goal to open up their 2021 SCAC campaign. Joe Curry down the line with Adji. Adji, defender on his hip. Cuts back, and he runs out of room, out for a goal kick. Does look like a 3 at the back for Trinity, perhaps, or maybe Will Powell at right back. Those are your 2 options. Either way, Coach McGinley opting for attacking players like Kyle Davis, who he brought off the bench in the first half to try and run at the Centenary wide players. Blanc was up to win that. It falls at the feet of Johnston. He's put under pressure by Colton Howard. Still paddling as he goes to ground. Jaron Petraeus gets it wide. Here's Amato. Runs into Velos. Wide for Eubank. Starting higher up the field here in the second half. Adji. Another defender comes back to try and double against Adji. Makes his 12th appearance today. 8th start in Trinity colors. He's got 4 goals and a pair of assists to his name. Missed the last few through injury. Burns receiving the ball there with his back to goal. Didn't reach him, and the Gents send it down the field. There, Johnson picks it up. Velos leaves it off for Michael Pham, who's going all the way back to be the deepest player in the build-up here for Trinity. Can't quite work out what the shape is just yet. Just 2 minutes into the half, but it certainly looks a little bit different out there as Adji tries to lay it back to Jack Eubank. Centenary bomb it down the field. Johnston brings it forward, wide for Velos. Velos forced all the way back to Austin Willman. Willman making his 4th straight start in the Trinity goal. He's given up 4 goals so far on an 80% save percentage. He's been assured in the absence of Vidalis. Trinity won't feel as uncertain about the options they have behind their number 99, or number 1, positionally, as they would have before when Willman had very few appearances to his name. Great pace there by Michael Pham to track back and stop the counterattack. Very much looks like 2 strikers here between Burns and Adji, Powell and Eubank to the right and left of that front 2. Blanc, great ball to break the lines, finds the feet of Fraser Burns, picks it up 20 yards from goal, tries to put it in behind for Powell, who's caught. Instead, they'll say he committed the foul. And we're headed the other way with the Gents. Centenary entering this game on a 3-game losing streak. Lost against UTD at home and then on a couple of trips at TOU and at Southwestern. Trinity, of course, still undefeated on the season. Having a 7-game winning streak into this one. But regardless of that, at the start of conference play, the work you did in non-conference doesn't really matter that much. particularly this season when it's all about making the top 4, qualifying for the tournament. Ball one back in midfield. Held up now by Howard. He's got runners going beyond him. He receives it back from Amato. Good build-up play here by the Gents. It's lifted in behind for Howard, who's offside. Great service off the left foot of Javinola Ramirez. First foray into the attack for the Gents here in the second half. Blanc looking for Burns, cut out by Barbera on the way through. Throw in for Will Powell, lays it back to Jacob Gallant. Too heavy on the pass, and Colton Howard leads the charge going the other way. He needs support. He'll look to shoot here from distance. And if he had caught Willman off his line, you say, well, what a spectacular goal. And since he didn't, in the end it goes down as a silly attempt on a rare for a forward. Blanc looks to drop this one in behind for Powell, who's onto it. He lifts it past one defender. It's headed towards Agi. Ball bouncing. Still not cleared by the Gents as they now look to shield it over the line. Goal kick coming. It was precarious. In the end, though, the visitors do just enough. And they can head up the field and look to win this. Ball off the right foot of Sammy Borchali. You see the spray of some water and turf as Borchali takes the goal kick. Field certainly seen better days, particularly the area at the bottom of your screen now. Haven't seen it play a huge factor so far as Howard will shoot from distance. That one dips wide. But the Gents are encouraged. Howard, who at times couldn't find the ball. He looked to lost a bit in the first half. He's started the second half brightly. And the junior out of Keller, Texas. Played in just 5 games in 2020. He started 4 out of 8 this year, and this is his 4th straight. Agi goes to ground to win it back in midfield, but it's Jaron Petraeus who's onto it for Centenary. This ball lofted in behind was met by Johnston. And Trinity control. Gents just sitting right now in the mid block. Not going to pressure Blanc on the ball. They're going to track their runners instead. They've left Eubank free now down the Trinity left. Sends the ball across, and Agi was at full stretch. Burns and Powell were at the back post. Nobody able to turn it home. That's the danger, though, of standing off the Trinity center backs. Both of them really capable of picking out a pass, as Blanc did there. Burns wins the header from the goal kick. Velosa's got time as he receives it here from Pham. Johnston to Jacob Gallant into midfield for Burns. Ball flashes over here. Everyone a little more alert than last Friday when we had a computer broken by a similar ball into the laptops. Powell picks it up 25 yards from goal, dead center. Velos feeds it back in for Will Powell, looking to turn. Appealing for a penalty, referee waves it away. Pham controls possession, rolls it wide for Blanc. Gallant takes it on the chest. Couldn't take the pace out of the ball, and the Gents recover possession. Barbera put it out for Beeler, who couldn't keep it. Eubank spaced across. He whips it in on the left foot. Adji gets ahead to it. So he came flying through. But he ended up in the back of the net rather than the ball. Trinity's still looking to open the scoring. Here's a look at the chance for Adji. Gets a good read on this ball. In the end, maybe an inch or two high.
Hey, we gotta simplify the game, boys. Here we go, Trey. You win it in the air. Let's go. Hey, it's too frantic. We gotta calm it down.
Burns another header one off the goal kick. Noel Ramirez prepares the throw. We're 10 minutes into the second half. Still scoreless here in San Antonio. Centenary threatened on a couple counterattacks. Trinity on a couple of crosses from Jack Eubank. Nothing clear-cut so far. And that'll suit the Gents the longer the game goes on. Burns knocked off the ball. Blanc forced into committing the foul as Brennan Amato was driving out of midfield. Another free kick coming for the Gents. Going to look at first the contact on Burns. Referee set it into shoulder to shoulder. You see Burns protesting in the back of your shot there. And it set up a free kick opportunity now for the Gents and Brendan Amato. Two in the wall for Trinity. Set by Austin Willman. Amato raises his right arm, sends this in towards the back post. Jacob going under it, helps it out behind for a corner. First corner of the game coming for the Gents. Amato across to take this one as well. See four players in gray and maroon crowded around Jacob Galan there. They fan out, make the runs, but Austin Willman goes up with the heads and comes down with the ball. Noel Ramirez slow to get up. He's out of position here as Colton Howard stands in at left back. Diego Hernandez picks the pocket of Michael Pham. Joe Curry does the same to the Gents. Powell's on to loose ball, but he gets tripped up in his own feet. Pokes away from Noel Ramirez. Pham receives it with a man on his back. It's Brendan Amato. He's been all over the field for the Gents this evening. Barbera doesn't get much purchase on the clearance. Burns finds space down the line. Now infield for Powell. Corner kick coming for Trinity. Probably heard Coach White in the Centenary bench asking for the goal kick. Last touch was off the Centenary defender. Trinity have worked a few short corners into goals this season as Burns lifts it off his left foot beyond the back post. Nothing so far from the set pieces for Trinity. Have now taken a pair of corner kicks this evening. Velos brings it out of the sky from the goal kick, drops it off for Willman. Time on the ball for Brady Johnson. If you're just tuning in, J.C. Rule ruled out for the season with a knee injury for Trinity. Be a big miss. It's helpful to have an All-American to bring back into the starting lineup. Certainly makes the squad a little bit thinner when you lose a player of J.C. Rule's caliber, the first team all-conference defender a year ago. Eubank had it taken off his toes by McHughy, but Pham regains possession for the Tigers. Here is Johnston. Blanc to lift that one towards Burns. There's numbers in the counterattack for the Gents. It's 2v2. As Amato is forced to check wide by the run of Michael Pham. Ball lifted in behind was destined for Austin Willman, but Johnston wasn't to know. He won the header. It's now at the feet of junior captain Michael Pham. Didn't play in the tournament at Centenary last year. He was out with injury, missed the entire season with an ankle issue. Galan runs into Amato. Barbera can't connect with the teammate. Off the outside of the right foot for Blanc. This section of the field turning more and more muddy as the game wears on. It's a game that's felt like it's been stuck in the mud at times for Trinity. Without their principal goal scorer this evening in Michael Meese. Galan now on a surge forward from right back. Curry puts it in behind for Fraser Burns. It breaks for Joe Curry. Shot is blocked and cleared away. Series of fortunate deflections there nearly presented Trinity with a chance to get on the board. Johnston in behind for Burns. Can't bring it out of the sky. But his pressure forces the turnover. Galan's on the ball. Noel Ramirez on his back. Dropped off for Pham. Now Blanc steps into a pass wide for Burns. And last touch off the Gents. Another Trinity corner on the way. Velos shows short. This is the setup we've seen for Trinity corners this season. It's laid off for Pham, who's got space. Great shape on the ball. It's towards the back post. Eubank keeps it alive, but wrong side of the post.
And for Centenary, number 13, Michael Smith.
Mikey Smith now to replace Colton Howard as the up front striker, sophomore out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. After a strong opening 10 or so minutes from Howard, who now departs. Pair of headers won by the Gents. Ends up on the right foot of Brady Johnson. Sends it downfield. Basteris wins the header. Dribbles through to Michael Pham. Go on, infield for Powell. Gets it back to him, but with two defenders around him. Petraeus comes away with the ball. Galan stops any potential counterattack. Trinity had 60% possession in the first half. That number probably pretty similar since the break. Gents have threatened on counterattacks a couple of times. Nothing forcing a save out of Willman just yet since the interval. Blanc goes direct, looking for Adji. Ball bounces at the top of the box. Adji puts the pressure on. Ball's in the midfield for Barbera. Lifted in behind for Amato. Bakui sprays it wide here for Noyola Ramirez. He's got space down the Centenary left. Powell comes across, closes it down, conceding the corner kick. Brendan Amato across the take. Seems to be in control of the Centenary midfield alongside Petraeus this season. It's been given the keys by head coach Kevin White. Swings this one towards the back post. Comes off a Centenary head last. And the Gents can't keep it in play. Out for a Trinity throw deep in their own half. I wonder if Amato was recruited by Coach Simzak, if he was recruited by Coach White, or if he was recruited by the SCAC championship victory. Some combination of all three. Coach Kyle Simzak, now an assistant at William & Mary, mentioned in the build-up to this game. A 4-year head coach went out on the highest of highs for Centenary men's soccer, and that was their first ever SCAC championship in the spring. Barbera flicks on a direct ball forward, looking for Smith. Beeler tried to wait one in behind for Smith, who won't give up on this. And he will concede a goal kick in the end. Tigers go quick. Roll it out for Blanc. Space for Burns, lays it off for Curry. Curry infield for Galan, advances it for Powell. Laid back to Blanc, good work on the right from Trinity, but the switch out to the left was under hit. Next up for the Gents at Shriner, Sunday at 3 o'clock. Trinity will be on the road as well. They travel to Houston to play at St. Thomas. Another 3 o'clock kickoff there. Somerville on, Powell off, moving Adji to the right mid. See if Burns and Somerville can forge a partnership up top. Burns played as the number 9 as a first-year player. He's been central at times throughout his career. This year pushed out onto the wing, where he told me he likes operating. He likes the freedom that it can offer. As Curry goes back to Willman. He's returned to a central position. Here is Trinity in search of a goal. Flag stays down here for Adji. Burns is in the middle. It's towards the back post for Eubank. And Borchali, even despite the deflection, comes up huge, and you see what it means for him and the Gents. Terrific reactions from the goalkeeper. As Eubank shot deflected towards the near post, that keeps the Gents even here at Paul McGinley Field with the Trinity corner on the way. 4 Tigers crowd around the corner flag. 5 in the penalty area. It's whipped in all the way through. No one there. Eubank pointing as if to indicate somebody should have been there. And with a service like that, any Tiger fan would agree, I think. Here's the ball across for Adji. He cuts it back, and Borchali gets a hand on it, keeping it out, losing the mouth guard in celebration. Oristegi now in to replace Bakui. Blanc wins the initial header from the goal kick. Here's Burns, puts it in behind for Adji to chase. He's just beaten to it. Somerville keeps the attack alive, gets it wide for Eubank. Eubank lifts one in off his right foot, right into the waiting arms of the goalkeeper. 3/4 of the way through this game. So far, it's gone perfectly to plan for Coach Kevin White, making his SCAC coaching debut. He's made quite a few trips here to Paul McGinley Field as a member of the University of Texas Dallas coaching staff, including a few national tournament games. He's familiar with the area, maybe less familiar with his team. Last touch off Eubank, behind for a goal kick as our camera was able to show there. Shot. Last touch off the left boot of the Raleigh, North Carolina native. Another goal kick for Borchali. Arrives right at the halfway line. Blanc nods it down. Burns dumped to the turf. Slow to his feet. As Trinity get the ball rolling again with Curry. Besteris wins the header. It's kept alive by Velos. Pham finds the ball to his right for Blanc. Adji comes short. Adji's found space. Now with Blanc, who spreads it wide again. Jacob Galan isolated with Adam Beeler. Through the legs of Adam Beeler, and Galan goes on the charge, but his touch goes all the way through to Borchali.
Get underneath David this time. Get underneath him. Underneath David.
Petraeus settles it in midfield, sprays it wide for Oriastegi. Smith motions that he wants the ball in behind. Oriastegi will look to take Velos down the line. Going to ground, Velos gets a foot on the ball and then puts it out for a gents throw. Ball won back in midfield by Curry. And now Trinity charged forward on the counter. And even though Adji was in behind, the referees brought it back for a foul for the Tigers. And acknowledgement even from the Centenary bench down to my left. I heard that was terrible. Adji was ready to fire one across or maybe even get a shot himself. Instead, Trinity will have to settle for a free kick just inside their own half, which they take short. Johnson dribbles into the attack. Ball into the feet of Adji. Now Pham drives at the heart of the Centenary defense. Lays it off for Curry. Adji back on the right. Wriggles past a couple. Finds Pham. Wide now with Eubank. Deflected cross. Still dangerous. Somerville wins the header. Borchali wins the battle. He comes away with the ball, diving to his left. This will be a great view. Somerville got it on frame. He'd probably like it back, try and put it further from the goalkeeper's grasp. 9 saves now for Borchali. Curry tries to help that one on. Amato joins in on the head tennis here in midfield. Brendan Amato with a strong foot in, and now Mikey Smith will drive at the Trinity back line. Pham back to help out. Stops the counter charge. Noel Ramirez demands the ball for this throw-in, sending Amato back out onto the pitch. Amato's found space. Tries to help it back towards Beeler. Can't keep it. Barbera wide now for Noyola Ramirez. Heavy touch presents it to Michael Pham, and the Tigers able to clear. Burns will lead the press. Amato couldn't keep it. I don't know if he wanted to with Curry right on his back. Pham dropping really deep just to find the ball at times. Curry looking to get the attack started from deep. It's wide with Eubank. Down the line for Velos. Diego Hernandez comes across. The crunching tackle on Velos and runs all the way through to the goalkeeper. Blanc wins the header from the punt, out for Centenary throw. If you're just tuning in, it's been a game to open the SCAC attack with no Michael Meese in the lineup today. Centenary making life difficult and threatening on the counterattacks, as they are here with Noyola Ramirez at sent across, just beyond Mikey Smith. Headed clear by Blanc. Pham caught in possession. Now the chance presents itself for Centenary. Johnston with a strong foot to cut it out. Best chance of the half for the Gents, coming from the mistake by Michael Pham. And despite the run of form for the two teams, with Centenary on a 3-game losing streak, Trinity on a 7-game winning streak to start the season, we are locked in a battle here. And it's starting to feel like we're playing in the swamp with the humidity, some of the mud popping up on the field. And if you know anything about Centenary, they like to play in the swamp. Good work from Besteris. He sends it down the line. Under 15 minutes to play. As it stands, we're headed for overtime. Still plenty of time left for either side to change that. Burns brings it out of the sky with his first touch. Looks to spread it wide for Adji. Tracks it down near the corner flag. He's isolated with Noyola Ramirez. Gets to his right foot. Can't get the cross away, as it's blocked behind for a corner. Clock is stopped here as I think there's a conversation. Maybe. No, it's going to be for the injury to Adji, who stayed down. He's missed the last few games. I wonder if it's the same situation, or it looks like maybe just a cramp. And now we'll see if Coach White's anger is justified. And it looks like it is. It should be a goal kick. Trinity won't mind as they set up for another corner. Their 5th of the game. The options to go short, walk away. It looks like Burns is going to whip this into the danger area. He's got Pham short now. Pham towards Brady Johnston, who misses his. He's picked up the yellow card. Trinity back underway with a quick free kick. Curry steps past one, steps into a shot. Lasering towards the bottom corner. Before Charlie able to watch it around the post. Blanc up to win the header in midfield. It falls to the feet of Petraeus, who lifts it in behind for Smith. He'll chase. Galan tracks it down and sends it down the line. Davis takes it on the chest. Dumped to the turf by Barbera, who I believe was the one cautioned moments ago. He has to be careful if so. Still being reviewed. Crossfield ball opens up the space for Eubank. Skips past his defender, draws the oohs and ahs from the crowd, and in the end, draws the corner kick. Pham now replaced by Whitwell. Just the second change for Trinity in the second half. And Bekiwi back into the game for Adam Beeler. Now looks like Bekiwi will operate from the left, the French-born winger. Burns drives it into the near post, gets that one wrong. The 6th corner kick of the game for Trinity, their least threatening. Under 10 minutes to go here at Paul McGinley Field. It's the defending champion Centenary Gents holding strong against the number 2 in the nation, Trinity Tigers. Mikey Smith there first, but cannons off him behind for a goal kick. Smith just going to live in the back of the head of Brady Johnston. You know, he's got the pace and he's always going to make the runs. One mistake, and he might be in. Burns checks back, lays it at the feet of Peter Blanc, returns it to Trinity Scotsman, and now Blanc lifts it in behind onto the chest of Velos. Perfect service from the Dutch center back. Velos couldn't do anything with it that time for Trinity.
Let's go, James, come on.
Curry couldn't connect with Davis. 16 shots so far in the game for Trinity, 9 on target, 7 of those coming in the first half. Couple solid saves from Borchali here in the second 45. 9 in total. As he's doing everything he can to put up the clean sheet, the shutout. Somerville is going to get on the end of this. He's come up big when Trinity have needed it this season. Petraeus launches this clear. Johnston slips over the ball, and it's going to be a gents throw-in. Pasteris takes the throw. Velos wins the header. Says, go ahead, do it again. This time into the feet of Oriestegi. Laid back to Marco Pasteris. Pass intercepted by Joe Curry. Gets it back here from Eubank. And strong enough on the ball to keep possession for the Tigers. They're looking to find solutions right now. Looking to break into the vault. Find the right combination of passes. And a finishing touch. That would get them off on the right foot to start SCAC play.
Good battle, Jaron, Lucky.
Number 32 for Trinity will be the next attempt to find that combination. It's Hunter Kane who's set to come in. He'll wait as Fraser Burns prepares a free kick. A long way from goal, but we know he has the quality. And there's a great service in. Looking for Johnston. Headed clear by Hernandez. Orestegi wins the subsequent tackle and a throw-in for his team. It's not happening in attack right now for Trinity. A few half chances, a few saves from Borchali. That's all they have to show for their efforts here in the second half. This one stays in play. Somerville is onto it. He's driving now at the Centenary back line. Lays it off for Fraser Burns. Davis looked to get it back to the Scotsman, but it comes for Somerville, who lashes at it wide of the target.
In for the Tigers, number 32, Hunter Kane.
Somerville still fighting, still looking to find the winning goal, but he's actually going to be withdrawn here, surprisingly, in favor of Hunter Kane. First year will get a chance to lead the line. So we approach the 5-minute mark. As it stands, we're set for overtime. Davis dumped to the turf by Petraeus. And with the type of service that Burns was able to put in with the last free kick, I think Trinity will be content to slow this down. Send Johnston, send Blanc, send Whitwell forward. Is this Brady Johnston's moment? Burns puts it in towards him. Hernandez up highest for the Gents. Out for a throw. Yard or so from the corner flag. Jack Eubank has it in his hands. Takes it quickly for Kane. And the ball back to Eubank, who's in an offside position. Rene Escobar, the sophomore defender out of Cypress, Texas, raises a right arm, launches it into the night sky, far from his goal as he can. Last touch off Whitwell. And Oristegi's throw in goes over the head of Amato, presenting possession back to Trinity. Petraeus with Kane on his back, foul against Hunter Kane, the first year out of Katy, Texas. Two goals, 2 assists so far for Hunter Kane in his 8th appearance. He's made 1 start early on in his Trinity career. And he's got a lot of responsibility on his shoulders right now, leading the line for Trinity in a crucial moment. Centenary now threatening the Trinity goal for the first time in some time. And Willman is out to make a strong claim. Johnston stays down behind the action. Now back on his feet. See if he was hit. Yeah, it looks like by Willman on the way through. Painful one. Don't think it'll be a big concern, but looks like he'll have to come off to be checked momentarily. See if Trinity have a substitution prepared. As of now, they'll be playing with 10. Centenary 3 minutes away from forcing overtime here in San Antonio. Despite a difficult start to life under Coach Kevin White, they've gotten off to a good start here, defending their SCAC title. They've come to the home of this season's favorites, the 2nd team in the nation based on the USC national poll, and thus far they've held strong. Still 2.5 minutes to force overtime. The Tigers doing everything they can to place one beyond Borchali. So far, though, unsuccessfully. Blanc can't track down the loose ball. Send to the channel now for Mikey Smith to chase, who got wrong side of Galan but ran out of room. Down the line for Burns. A look to turn. He's got Bakui all on his back. Under 2 minutes to go. Trinity have the ball back rolling. It was actually rolling when they took the free kick. Went short. The referee won't mind, but Blanc, it's an uncharacteristic mistake. Perhaps feeling the pressure of the clock ticking down. Petraeus brings it forward, down the line. Blanc comes across to meet it. Should be goal kick on the way, and it is. Strong tackle from Blanc to make amends for his mistake a moment ago. Woolman wants to go short. He's only presented the option to go long by his teammates. He does so.
1 minute.
No real target up there for the Tigers with no Somerville on the field. It was looking for Kane. Under a minute to play, as it looks like we're headed for overtime. Whitwell goes all the way back to Willmans. Their one last opportunity in this for Trinity. Willman onto the head of Hunter Kane. Commits the foul. And Escobar a little more egregious with the offense of playing that one forward with the ball rolling. Referee onto it that time, but still, there'll be numbers up from the back. Last ball of regulation. Chance for the Gents
9, 8,
to start their SCAC season with an upset victory.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Johnson
1.
puts an end to that, at least for now. We're headed to overtime. Despite all the shots that Trinity could muster over the course of 90 minutes, 17 in total, 9 on target, which has been equal to whatever Trinity have put between the goalposts so far today. No shots on target for the Gents in the second half. Their job was to get it to overtime, and they did that. Here's a look at that last opportunity. Looked like it may fall for Mikey Smith. His first touch was heavy and presented the chance for Trinity to clear it. The NCAA overtime rules state we'll have 10 minutes of golden goal play. If no one's able to find a winner, we'll have 10 more minutes. After that, the game will go down as a tie. Centenary won the SCAC title last year with 2 straight 0-0 draws. They won those on penalties. No penalty kicks today, but a draw would feel like a win here in San Antonio. They've got 4 minutes to rest up, both teams do, to get instruction from their coaches, and then we'll be back out on the field to decide a winner in just a moment. After 90 hard-fought minutes of action here on Paul McGinley Field, both teams looking for the goal to give them sudden victory. If either team is able to find it, it may go down in the books as sudden victory. It'll have been a slow burn to get the result. So far, Centenary holding strong, keeping Trinity at bay. Tigers fired 17 shots, 9 on target in regulation. Centenary with 5 shots, 2 on goal. They break out on Gents. Trinity moving from left to right here in the first overtime period. Their first overtime contest of the year. Centenary have had already 1-0-0 draw to open the season at Hendricks. And as I mentioned, they're not a stranger with that result. It's what won them the SCAC title last season. They've got 20 hard minutes to get to that point, and they might even have eyes on the winner. Burns immediately putting Hernandez under pressure. Mikey Smith continues to lead the line for the Gents. Every mistake now amplified. It could lead to the game-deciding goal. College soccer persists with golden goal, while professional leagues across the world have moved away from it. Provides a certain romance, a certain intrigue that you don't get in any other type of extra time situation. So Mikey Smith now has won it back. Lays it across for Petraeus. Ball lifted in behind for Noyola Ramirez, who drags his shot wide, flag up anyway. Good chance to open overtime for the Gents. We'll see. If it was offside, it may have been marginal. The junior pulled his shot wide to the far post anyway. It'll be a what-if moment if the Gents don't go on to find the winner here on the road. Phil Joynia is back in to lead the line for Trinity. Well, it looks like a return to a usual 4-3-3 shape. Whitwell, Curry, and Pham, the starting midfield trio, is out there. Pham being tasked with the defensive work here as Amato's in behind. He fires one across. Galan misses his kick at the back post. Noyola Ramirez pulls it back across. Well, Whitwell's on it. This game wide open to start overtime. Both teams going for the jugular, going for the golden goal. Curry skips past his defender. Laid wide for Eubank. The low ball in. Looking for Dueñez. May fall for Joe Curry, but it's cleared away. Attack persists now with Jacob Galan. His ball into the front man was off target. Whitwell beaten to it by Smith. Smith in behind here. He can really stretch his legs. Peter Blanc tracking back for Trinity. And Whitwell cuts out the ball intended for Amato that could have presented the Gents with the chance to win this game. Trinity all over the place here, really, to start the overtime period. Joynia has got a touch to that, kept it alive for Curry. But Escobar was able to clear. It's been resolute at the back for senior Diego Hernandez. And Rene Escobar, the sophomore, to his left. Noyola Ramirez took it away from Burns there, but couldn't connect with a teammate. Here's space in midfield for Curry. Wide for Eubank. Service off his left foot goes all the way through to Galan at the back post. He's kept it alive here in the Centenary penalty area. Goes to ground, but he's immediately back up, and Burns whistled for offside. And it looked like a real situation of Galan just losing his footing. He was never really appealing for the penalty, although I'm sure if the referee would have awarded it, he wouldn't have complained. As there's a flashpoint here between Noyola Ramirez and Burns. The Centenary player trying to drag Trinity Scottish midfielder back to his feet. I don't know why. Trinity making a change here as Velos is replaced by Hunter Kane, and the referee is in conversation again with Noyola Ramirez.
Hunter Kane from Trinity.
Whitwell tries to rise highest to meet that. David Barbera got ahead to it. Galan now looks to lead the charge down the right wing. It springs for Fraser Burns. Runs into a couple Centenary players. Referee's whistle means Trinity free kick coming. 6 minutes to go in the first overtime period. And no one in the SCAC you'd rather have over this dead ball than Fraser Burns, who's put in countless services today. See if he can put one in here to find the golden goal. It's towards the back post! And it's Hunter Kane! He's got the winner! The reigning champions defeated here at Paul McGinley Field. A hard-fought effort on both sides, but Trinity come up with the all-important goal. They stay undefeated on the season, and they start the SCAC campaign on the right foot. It all came off the right foot of Fraser Burns. Perfect ball in. Hunter Kane rises to meet it unchallenged. And for once, nothing that Borchardi could do about this one, as it was past him in a flash. Trinity pushed to their limit today, but they come up with the answer 5 minutes into overtime. We thank you so much for sticking with us through 95 minutes of SCAC action. It's exciting to be back and playing for another conference title this season. Next up for Trinity, they'll be at the University of St. Thomas on Sunday, 3 o'clock kickoff. Next up on the Tiger Network, we'll have Trinity women's soccer coming off a big 8-0 win today, facing off against the Celts here at Paul McGinley Field. That one kicks off at noon. Here's one last look at the golden goal. Hunter Kane rising highest above his height and running off in joy with 3 points in the bag for his team. Thank you again for your time, and we hope you have a great Saturday and join in on Sunday for some more Trinity soccer. Have a good night.